Hello and welcome to Mama's Cookbook. Today I'm going to make a very special recipe. This is a bread recipe that has been in my family for several generations. I'm going to tell you what my mama wrote about this recipe. As a child, this is the only bread we had to eat day after day. My sister, 3 brothers, and I always look forward to the day when Grandma ran out of homemade bread and one of us had to run to the grocery store to buy a loaf of sliced bread. It wasn't until I grew up that I realized how wonderful this bread really is and how fortunate I was to have a mother to bake it. This really is quite simple to make. It just takes some time, and it also makes great pizza dough. And because as much bread as this makes, you will be able to make delicious rolls and pizza with this one recipe. Okay, let's get started. So what we want to start with is 5½ cups of warm water. This is where the yeast is going to go into. We're going to put in 7 teaspoons of yeast. So if you want to make it easy on yourself, you can buy it already in the little packages. You'll need 4 of these packages. On a really hot day in summer, you could probably get by with 3. All right, so in goes the yeast because we want to get this started. And then I have 2 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm going to put that in with the yeast and just let that have a good time. This is 5½ cups of warm water. Needs to be just not room temperature, but warm enough for the yeast. 7 teaspoons of yeast and 2 tablespoons of sugar. In my bowl, I have 5 pounds of flour. You don't have to sift it or anything. It's just an all-purpose flour, 5 pounds. All right, so what I'm going to do in my flour is I'm just going to make a little hole, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of salt. And actually, I'm going to stir that around a little bit, I think, because of the salt. And then I'm going to put in 2 eggs. I don't know if the eggs make it Italian or not, but I always think it did. I just like to break the yolk up a minute. And 1/2 of a cup of olive oil. That gives it some great flavor. Okay, that's in the middle. And then I'm ready. Oh, we're starting to come alive a little here. Let me break that up a little bit. Okay. Here we go. And I'm just going to pour it in. This is and now the fun starts. We got to mix it. And we just keep mixing until it comes together. Okay, and now I'm going to use my hands to finish the mixing. And when I get that done, we're going to let the bread sit. You know, if this is too much for you, you can cut this recipe in half and it will work just fine. But when I make it, I like to make a lot. And this was the bread. She made this about once a week because that would give us enough bread for the week. And here it goes together. And I'm just going to leave it in the pan for this stage. Okay. Now everything seems to be wet. So I'm going to cover this and let it sit here for about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to wash my surface where I'm going to be kneading the bread. So let me wash the surface off. You don't need a great deal of space to do this, but just make sure it's a clean space. And I'll take some flour and I'll put flour around my dough. Now, when I cover it with a rag and with saran wrap. Let's put it out on the surface and begin to knead your dough. Oh, this is nice. It kind of fights back. You know you got some good yeast action going on there. Okay, here we go. And you just go around for a few minutes. You don't have to break your arms doing this. Go around for a few minutes and it gets kneaded up. There you go. Look at that. I'm gonna put it back in here. I'm gonna cover it again with the saran wrap. I think it just helps a little bit. And with my cloth. I'll clean my surface up and I'll come back and knead that every 20 minutes for the next hour, and then I'll see ya. Well, welcome back. Yep, it's been an hour, and wait till you guys see. Each time you, look at that. Each time you knead it, it just comes together better and better. Oh, got a little bit stuck here. All right, there we go. Put a little bit more of this down, and now we're ready. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Is that fabulous or what? Look at that. It's beautiful. All right, so I'm just going to knead it, and then I'm going to take some of it, because I'm going to take half of it to make pizza with. The other half I'll show you how you can form it. If you want to use a regular bread pan, you can certainly do that, but I'll show you the trick way. Okay, and because this is so much, as you take a piece, you're going to want to cover the rest, okay, so it doesn't dry out while you're working. So I'm just going to take like a little bit, like a roll size, and I'm going to roll it out. Okay, so I just make a little and turn it around and tuck that in, and this becomes your little snail. Let me put the little snail here. I'm gonna do another one. All right, so then this one seems a little long. If it is, just cut a piece off and then just twist it around and take this part and you make a little snail. See, isn't that cute? All right, there's another thing you can do. You can make a long one. Cut a piece of it off, put it in the middle here, and then you're just gonna braid it around. And you make a little braid. And you make a little braid. Okay, I'll do a couple more for you. I'll do one more braid. You have to make it long. Just cut a third of it off, put it in the center, and then just braid it. And there you go. Then you lay it down. Now, if you're of a mind, you can also just make a ball. Just pull it around, make a ball. When I do this, I like to make a whole bunch of them in a ring and then let it all rise and bake it as one piece. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna continue until I get all my bread ready. I'm gonna bake it at 425 for about 20 minutes, and that should do it. Okay, see you later. All right, and there's the last of it. Round little balls of yumminess. So these are, actually I weighed them so that they'd be identical. They're 2 ounces. And then I rolled them and put them in a round pie pan and baked them, same as these. So let's see. Let me open one, Yuli. why don't you come over here? Let me show you the Italian way. Okay, so I'm gonna give Yuli the Italian experience. We don't use butter, we use olive oil. So we put a little olive oil in the bread. Oh my gosh. And a little salt. And a little pepper. Looks good, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, that's for all your hard work today. Let's try it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Really good.
So good. All right, everybody. We'll finish that. But Mama's Cookbook. We've done it today. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.